Okay, so now it's time to talk about Tua, the unfortunate situation that happened. I think we were all watching, and it was just a terrible situation. When you see a player go through fencing, I've not seen something like that before. And when that happened a couple years ago, I just was mortified. And I come from a place where my daughter went through some concussions, nothing like that. But when I learned about it, I was like, do not want to put my kid in harm's way at all. And when I learned about the second concussion, which is why he had the fencing 2 years ago, it was two concussions that were within close proximity. He shouldn't have been out there. It just was sad. And at the beginning of this year, I had mentioned I didn't think Miami, and it was because I'm concerned for Tua. And I think it comes from more of a personal. It's not because I think Tua's bad. I'm just concerned. And when he went forward and he immediately did that again, I was in our living room and I said, that guy should never play another snap. And I know it's easy for me to say that because I'm not the one that would be giving up, multiple hundreds of millions of dollars and all that, and I get it. But he does have $100 million. And I don't know if they realize and they're really looking ahead at your quality of life when you're 50 and you're 60 and you're 70 for what could be 4 more great years, 5 more great years. So you're going to have so many games, but you're going to have decades of issues. And I think he's already going to have, I'm concerned about that. I also think we talked about this in the podcast of one of the things sports could do differently, teams, if the leagues would do, is allowing a situation like this to where you could take a player that has obviously got hurt in your sport and allow them to still make their full contract, but it doesn't go against the salary cap.
Yeah.
And I would love for a situation like this to happen if the football team would do it, if Miami would do that and have them not be hamstrung, because Tua could just go and I guess say, I want to keep playing, but I'm not ready yet. I got a headache, and he could do that. But he's a good guy. He's not going to fake it for 4 more years.
Yeah.
But I hope for his sake, his family, I know some of them already came out and said they don't think he should play, but maybe different people have different things. I just hope he doesn't play. I feel for him. But what's your thoughts, Trent?
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to watch. It's really hard to watch. The whole throwing up gang signs with your hands.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
No.
That's not normal. And I've seen some people hit really, really hard.
Yeah.
And have really bad brain injuries. I know people who have almost died from having too much brain or too much pressure in their brain from a concussion. And it's one of those things where I've watched it multiple times. I've never seen someone fencing before.
Yeah, I have never
until
either.
I watched him, which tells me that he is not okay.
And that's twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like we've done so much as just a population in general to get more aware of these type of injuries ahead of time, because before it's not something you could see as a damage. So people just would get concussion after concussion and move on with their lives.
Right.
I don't know. It's hard because I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a doctor. But I know that if that was my kid, like if I had a kid that was playing football and I saw my kid throwing up gang signs with his hands because he can't even control his motion of his hands anymore, I'm instantly pulling him out.
Right.
And I'm saying absolutely not. You're not under my roof. Are you going to do any more sports?
Yep. Yeah.
And this is the thing is, for his family, it's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it. And the only way that I could see, if I was Tua's brother, for example, the only way I could see allowing him to go back on that field is one sole reason. If he came to me and just looked me straight in the eye and said, this is all I am and all I want, and I'm willing to die for this. If he told me that, then I would say, then I'll be here to support you.
Yeah.
But he's an adult making that decision, to be fair. I wouldn't do that with a kid, obviously. But yeah, I mean, unless Tua can look you straight in the eyes and say, this is all I am and all I have, and I'm willing to die for this, then I think as a family member, you got to grab him and say, no, absolutely not.
Sometimes there's an intervention that needs to happen. And I think the nobility part of it as an athlete and a man is you're sitting there going, I don't want to let my teammates down. And I think that's part of it is you're like, Tyreek Hill came here and maybe I'm part of the reason he's here, and these others that want to sign here. And I don't want to let people down and I don't want to walk away and quit. And I think people just need to surround him and say, listen, you got $100 million. Let him be a quarterback coach, let him stay in the locker room, be a part of something. But man, I can't see another hit like I've never seen one, let alone two like that.
Yeah.
And of all people to hit him, DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a hard hit.
No, it wasn't.
That was the craziest part.
Yeah.
He just kind of
Mm-hmm. It was a normal play.
I half blamed Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dove at him
He
with his
did.
head.
And the reason why is as much as they tell you to slide, he's in that game and he's played horrible.
Yeah.
And it's a big division game. He's wanting to win and it's 4th down.
Yeah.
So he's wanting to go for it. And you forget the logic of I'll play for another down, and so it's hard. Oh man, I hope you could see Mike McDaniel. I mean, you could see the love he had for him. I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of players that are like Tua first, and that's really cool. But I hope he's okay. Our prayers are with you, Tua, and your family. But $100 million, that's more money you're going to spend in your life. That doesn't even count endorsements. And not only that, your kids aren't going to spend that money either.
Yeah.
So,
and
anyway.
I hope he realizes too that his kids are going to want him there.
Yes.
More than the money.
Yep.
I think, and the thing is I don't know any child that would pick the money over having their dad there.
Absolutely.